Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to the Positive Energy Kitchen. Today we've got a treat for you. A treat that's gonna go with your morning coffee like you've never had before. Now when I think back of my morning coffee, back in the day I'd have a buttered roll, a croissant, here in New Jersey, pork roll, egg and cheese on a hard roll. These are all wonderful. But now I'm gonna show you how to make Pastelitos de Cuba. They originated in Cuba, but all the Latin American countries all have them, and you are going to die for them. So stay tuned. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to it. All right, so the first thing we're going to start to do is prepare the filling for the pastelito. So we're going to cut up some onions, we're going to cut up some peppers, and we're going to add that to the ground beef. All right, now some peppers, and this time, instead of the green pepper, I want to throw a little color in there. So I went with red pepper, I'm gonna go with yellow pepper. All right, now we're gonna enjoy a little bit of some yellow pepper. Again, your choice. So as you guys have known, when I make the empanadas, we throw the pitted olives in there whole. With the pastelitos, we're gonna cut them up. So we're gonna slice up some olives, because we don't want it to overpower the pastelitos. All right, so all the prepping's done. We got the onions and the peppers cut up. We got the olives cut up, and that's all lined up right here. So now we got a nice pan with a little oil in there, and we're gonna get some meat cooking up right now. So we're gonna throw some meat in there, and we're gonna start that first. That's about all I'm gonna use for today. And then once the meat is cooked up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna drain it right away. So we're gonna get rid of all that excess fluid. So this won't take very long. And then once that's done, then we'll start with some of the other fillings that we're gonna put in the meat. Also, now again, I'm using ground beef. Ground beef's my favorite, but again, you could use pork. You could use ground turkey. You can use ground chicken, whatever you want. My preference with the pastelitos, the ground beef. There's just I don't know, that balance of the meat with the sweetness of the pastelitos, which you'll see later on. I don't know, that just seems to be magical. So now, what I'm doing with the meat here is now, notice I didn't add anything to the meat. We cooked it up, the meat is cooked. We're gonna take it off the flame, and now what we're gonna do is we wanna drain all the moisture out of this. The difference between the meat, the filling with pastelitos as opposed to a alcapurria or an empanada or a relleno de papa is we want this filling to be a little bit more on the drier side, and we're gonna do some things to it that are gonna keep it that way. But right now, the first thing we wanna do is we wanna get rid of the moisture from the meat right now. So we're just gonna strain this out. So we're gonna let that sit in there, let that drain, and while that's draining, we're gonna use this same thing and keep this bad boy going. And now we're gonna throw in onion. So we got the onion in the pan. Next thing, we got the minced garlic. Again, your choice, crushed garlic, whatever you want. I'm a big fan of the garlic, don't be afraid. Oh! Beautiful. Throw in some peppers. Look at the color. Ooh! Color. Nice. All right, so the onions and peppers have been cooking for just a little bit. The meat has been drained, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the meat back to the mixture. Now we get going. And just work it all in. That looks wonderful. You can see now, as opposed to, if you watch my other videos when I made the alcapurrias and the empanadas, the meat was a little bit more moist. You saw a lot more fluid in there. This is drier, and this is what we want. This is what we want for the pastelitos. That looks beautiful. All right, now we're gonna throw in our cut up olives. They look wonderful. Sprinkle those in. Nice. Get rid of this. Next, we're gonna go with always a little salt and pepper. Pepper. Again, if you're a pepper fan, you throw in a little extra. If not, you just throw in what you feel like you need. Salt, of course. Beautiful. Next, we're going to throw in tomato sauce. Now, we're only going to throw in, depending on the ratio of the meat, you're only going to throw in so much. You're not going to throw in, even though this is a small can, you're not going to throw the whole can in, as opposed to like when we did with the empanadas and the alcapurrias. We did use the whole can. We're not using the whole can. I've seen people use also tomato paste in these. You don't have to. If you like to, you can. Tomato sauce puts a nice little extra flavor in there. Now, I'm going to add a couple things. Well, actually one thing that normally would not get added to my other meals. This looks really good. Is we want to now add in cinnamon. Cinnamon's gonna put a nice little touch to it. Woo! Yeah, baby. And smell that. Smell that. Remember, this is a treat. All right, this is looking really, really nice. Exceptionally nice. Wow, look at that. Might be one of my best, ladies and gentlemen. Now, sazon, you know that. That's going in. Now with this, you don't have to add the whole packet. Again, this is going to keep things nice and dry. It adds a little color. I'm not quite adding the whole packet. Close to it, but almost. Now, that looks really good. Smells, you have no idea how good it smells. You have no idea. And the last thing we're gonna add is one of my favorites, the raisins. Oh my goodness. Boom, sprinkle in the raisins. Because you know when you get that combination of raisins and olives, oh my gosh, it's like heaven. It was once said by a famous person, to bite into a meal and get an olive and a raisin at the same time is like reaching into an old pair of jeans and finding a $20 bill. Oh, perfect. I love that. Look at that. This is perfection, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mind saying so myself. And that is done. This is essentially done. All right, everybody, so the meat's cooling down. We got the oven preheated to 350. We're gonna let that go for a little bit, and now we're gonna make these pastelitos. So you gotta set up your station. It's gonna be your flour station. So this is the part that gets a little messy, but that's fun. Messy is fun. And you also wanna have a tray sprayed, ready for the pastelitos that we're gonna put in there that are gonna go into the oven. All right, so here are the pastry sheets. This is how they come. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of them and throw it on the flour. Get it a bit floured up. Look at our rolling pin. And we just want to roll this out just a little bit, not too much. Not too thin. You can see how easily it rolls out. Now this was the store brand stuff that I got. There's also Pepperidge Farm makes another version too. Or some of you guys I know are good at making your own dough. So that might be what you can do as well. All right, now, depending on the different size circumferences of your glasses will determine the size of the pastelitos you can make. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the glass and push it down. You may have to twist it a little bit, work it just a little bit, but you want that separation. Just like that. And you've got yourself a disc right there. And you're gonna do that a couple of times. Well, more than a couple of times, because however many you can make from the sheet that you pull out there. And you kind of go like that. And there's another one. So let's make one real quick. So check this out. Okay, so I cut out 4 circles. And again, you can make them whatever size you want. I like this size. It's a nice size. Pastry is what it's going to end up being. But I've seen them smaller. Bigger, I wouldn't go any bigger than that right there. So this is what you do. There's your pastelito dough. You're going to grab yourself a good fair amount of the beef. And that might be a little too much, but I'm always of the thought process, better too much than not enough. But we can make that work. Yeah, this is going to be a go. This might have to be mine. Okay, so now I put the filling in there. Now what you want to do is just put your finger, just dip in a little bit of water and just go around the edge here. Just kind of moisten up the edge. Just like that. And you're going to do it to the other one. Just a little bit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to flip that over and connect the 2 wet sides. And this, you're just going to push them down. Press down. We're not going to use the fork like we did with the empanadas. We're not going to do that. You're just going to, you can even make a little design if you want, but all you're going to do is just push down the edge. Nice. Remember, it's a pastry, so it doesn't have to have any kind of a perfect form. It's going to look beautiful once it's baked and it's all done. And there it is. There's one right there. So let's do that again. That's a nice pastelillo right there. All right. So you got your 2 discs that you already cut. I'm going to get just a little bit less meat this time. That's perfect. That is perfect. Whoa, look at that. Again. Just dip your finger in a little water and go around the edge. It helps create that seal when you push down. Alright. And then we're going to do it on this one. Alright. Flip it over and get those edges to meet. And then once you get them kind of to meet, then you make your design. You do whatever you want. Kind of mush them up a little bit. Some people are really good and they make like little twirls and a really cool look to them, but that's it. Push down. There you have it. It sits right there. And we're going to keep going. We're going to make a whole bunch of those. All right, so there they are. We got 8 of them made, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of give them a little bit of an egg wash. So we're just gonna give every one of them a nice little lather. Real simple. Okay, so they got their egg bath. They're just about ready to go into the oven. But before we put them in the oven, you want to get yourself a toothpick or a knife. And what you want to do is you just want to puncture a couple of holes in each one. Because once they go in the oven and they start to heat up, that steam from in there has got to get out. Beautiful. And now, 15, 20 minutes in the oven, and that's next. All right, so we got the pastelitos in the oven, and while they're in the oven, and we got another, I'm gonna say about 10 minutes still left, we're gonna make the simple syrup that's gonna be brushed on top of it, and that's the sweetness. So it's 1 part sugar, 1 part water. In this particular case, I got 2/3 cup of sugar, and we're just gonna get some 2/3 cup of water. In that goes, and that's going on the stove. And you're gonna let that boil up, stir it up a little bit, and you'll see the sugar's gonna dissolve and it's gonna become syrupy. And when that's done, you're just gonna turn that off and let that cool. All right, so the pastelitos have come out of the oven. They look beautiful. They got a nice golden brown to them. And now we got the simple syrup that we made and we let cool down just a little bit. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna brush every one of these with the simple syrup and just lather them up. You can't do wrong here. Nice. All right, so they're all lathered up with the simple syrup. Let that sit for just a little bit. Let them cool just a little bit more because they just came out of the oven and they'll be ready to go. You're going to see the final product in just a bit. All right, so there we have them. Pastelitos. Ready to go. And I'm going to take a nice bite out of this one right here. Look at that. That's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, smash that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. We got some great episodes coming forward. See you soon. Peace.